at this point in time. We're on, are we? In about 20 seconds, you're going to have a whole episode of Sweet and Sour. But until then, let me warm you up a bit and tell you what the letters are going to be. The first letter tonight is, can I find a woman of child-rearing age who wants kids as much as I do and is prepared to take on a much older man? What do you reckon, Harry? Yes? I reckon yes. We had this conversation last week, coffee shop. Yeah, it happens. I love him desperately, but what a little spoiled brat he's turned out to be. They're recently married, and I don't think he wants to be. Last one, this is a global environmental issue, not a financial one. But in the world's highest carbon-polluting nation per capita, I'm being told to do nothing and just let this tax fix it all. Yep, there we go. Global warming, carbon tax, and a terrific panel coming up in about, what do we say, 30 seconds? It's about 10 now. See you then. Bye now. Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby, it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's about some chili?
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Yeah.
Here we go. Welcome to Sweet and Sour, everybody. Lovely to have your company, even if the mouth isn't working. Gary Mitchell with you for the next half hour and a terrific lot of panellists. First up tonight, all the way from Queensland.
You.
On his surfboard. Is that how you got over here, Jace? Welcome back, mate.
Gee, I'll tell you, at one point I was worrying about what was going to happen because they wouldn't let my surfboard on the plane.
Oh.
It actually cost more for my surfboard to get from the Gold Coast to Perth than it did for me. And the surfboard didn't even get a meal.
Have you used it yet?
Yes, had a surfing competition on the weekend.
Where at?
The Whalebone Classic Isolators Reef at Cottesloe.
And?
Absolutely magnificent, perfect West Australian weekend, middle of winter, blue skies, sunshine.
How'd you go?
I did really crap. I got knocked out in the semi-final of the Amateur Open Men's Division. So I beat a guy called Wally Thompson in the first round, and he's much better than me, so I was quite happy with that. But, yep,
what was the surf like?
It was pretty small, but pretty good for Cottesloe.
How many competitors?
120 odd.
That's huge.
140. We had the 6-time US Open men's champion, current Australian champion. We had
you were happy to get
WA
done.
state champ.
I get it.
Well, I mean, as soon as you get knocked out of the contest, it means you get on the party train.
Jason, you lost.
I won the drinking.
You lost 2 keys.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello, Lauren.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Nice to have you here.
Always is.
Now, any news coming up?
No, not at all.
What about that little secret you told me earlier that
That's
I'm not supposed to?
That's a secret. We're not meant to be telling anyone.
When are you actually going for the audition?
I'll tell you in December, probably.
Stay tuned. All right. Anita, any auditions coming up as well?
No auditions, but
welcome back. We haven't seen you for ages,
no,
either.
I've been around, just been busy.
Nothing wrong with being busy.
Yeah, we've just launched a national campaign for Ask Ollie, so
for what?
Look out for the ad. Just look out for it on TV.
Okay, what's the ad for?
Ask Ollie.
What's Ask Ollie?
Ask Ollie.
Okay, we're looking for Ask Ollie. In the meantime, we're going to ask Harry, how's our economy going? Hello, mate.
How you going, mate? It's always good to see everybody here. All smiling faces. Things are good. We might get an interest rate reduction later in the year.
Reduction?
We might get an interest rate reduction.
You know what? I'm going to take that because every time you've punted an interest rate rise or an interest rate drop, you're the only bloke I know who's actually been on the money. So... Yep. There you go, a little bit of confidence.
Not a big
for
one,
everybody.
but a little one.
Coming from our guru. What about the rest of the market?
Very good. We're getting a lot of interest from first-home buyers again, which is good to see, because they want to get out of the rent trap and get into their own home, which is great.
Had a look at the letters tonight?
Yeah, no, interesting.
Interesting. Here we go, first one. Hello, Mitch and panellists. So I've never been married, never wanted to, have always believed the grass is greener on my side, and let me tell you it is. I never wanted kids, so it was always easy on my mind knowing that I had the perfect world for someone of my mindset. The world through my eyes has now changed 180 degrees. I lost both my parents within the last 18 months, and now I desperately want my own kids to perpetuate my parents' memory and to feel that sense of family I've lost. I'm sure many people find themselves in my position, but here's the rub for me. I'm approaching 50. The question is, can I find a woman of child-rearing age who wants kids as much as I do and who is prepared to take on a much older man? I've never had trouble attracting women and always have broken off relationships when they wanted something more permanent. Have I left it too late to marry with the expectation of having kids? I meet plenty of women at wine bars, clubs and socially, but none who I would assess as maternal. They all seem Me, good timers. Ooh, that comes to us from Brad of Lower Templestowe in Victoria. First up, Jace. He's almost 50. So what?
No, I'm not. Oh, him, yes. Brad Lower Templestowe. Can you spell hypocrite? Here's someone who at 50 years of age suddenly decides that their lifestyle of running around and having a great time is no longer suitable, now expects someone half his age to toughen up and cop some flabby old dude because now he wants kids. Me, good timers, pot calling kettle brack. I just went a bit Asian on you there at the end. So, Bradley, don't be calling kettle brack, all right? But, no, look, I think it's pretty straightforward here. Where are you going to try and find
got any luck?
He's trying to find a nice young lady.
Will he do it?
Who likes... Tell you what, grass is greener on his side. Smoke me some,
He's
buddy.
never had any luck attracting them, but now he wants kids.
No, he's never had any problem attracting them.
And
I've never married, never wanted to. It makes it sound like all these women have been lining up and he just keeps going, no, not the Brad star. I think Brad might be a little bit me, good timer, and now he's just a hypocrite. But, mate, if you want to find a young woman who wants a 50-year-old to get married, I don't think bars, clubs and socially is going to be where you're going to find them.
Where do you find them, Lauren?
Oh, I'm a sucker for an old man.
So many girls are, though. I don't think this guy's going to have any problem.
I don't think you are. I'm dating someone 16 years older than me. The only thing I have with him is if he's 40 and we're still together, he's having children with me, because if he's running around at the age of 50 changing nappies and having a heart attack at the football because he can't keep up with his kids, that I think is a problem. If you're healthy, fit, want to get married, find a girl that loves you. You're not going to find a girl that's maternal in a nightclub. You're not going to just see it. You won't see a pregnant woman walking around a club, a pub, a wine bar. You'll find someone, you meet them there, and then you're going to have a relationship with them.
I've got a question. You seem like the one to ask, and this comes up in coffee table conversations all the time. Why are younger women attracted to older men?
They're done with their partying. They're done with their days. They're not going to cheat around. They're not going to be there. I know that some of them are, and I know that... I'm not going to say his name. I nearly just let it out. I know that he's done... Damon's had 2 children, so he's done with that. I don't have to have that expectation on me. I find he's very settled in his career and things like that. And if that's something that you want to pursue and you are happy to do that with a girl, you've got to be honest with her. You've got to say, yep, I want kids. I want them now. Done.
Anita? Do
I
you like an older man?
Well, yes, it depends. There's older men that are immature, and then there's the younger guys out there that are much younger that have the mentality and they're settled and they're ready to go. Age doesn't matter, it's the person themselves, and I think this guy sounds like an absolute prick, Brad.
Harris agrees with you over there.
Yeah.
I honestly, look, you're 50 years old. I think you have missed your match. Go get a pet, get a dog if you know. I think, you've been very selfish throughout your life in pushing women away. I'm sure you've had opportunities where you could have had a beautiful young woman to have children with, and you've missed your mark, mate. Sorry. Move on with pet.
Karma, if he's starting to get worried, he's going to start to get desperate and you're going to start to be very unattractive. Harry, how do you see it?
Well, mate, I remember what it was like to be 50, and talking about age like that, I almost feel like ringing Dr. Kevorkian and finishing myself off. But look, don't get too desperate, don't get too clingy, because people do want a partner, they don't want to cling on. So if you go out there begging for someone who really all you want is to have babies with, I'd work on having the relationship first, and the babies will come automatically.
And there's plenty of single mums out there.
That's it.
And how selfish is it to have a kid knowing that by the time they turn 18, you're going to be 68?
Yeah.
I'm not hung up on the age thing.
That's it.
Can't afford to be. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about deferring responsibility. Brats in marriages. Coming up. Don't go away. See you soon.
Here they come again. Catch us if you can.
Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. If you'd like to send us a letter, send it to the address that's about to appear. There it is on the screen right now. Letters at sweetandsour.net.au, and for every letter that we read out and chat about, we're going to send it to the movies, courtesy of Natalie Cameron and NRC Communications. And the movie we're sending you to is
My beaver.
or The Beaver, not necessarily your beaver. But we'll have a look at that as well. We might get a free pass to that one.
I didn't know it was that kind of show.
Goodness me. Yes, we've got to do a letter now. Dear panellists, What an age of sport brats we live in. Everybody wants things now, and wants everyone else to make decisions easy, or they pass on them completely. Let me crystallise this for you. I've been married for 14 months to a wonderfully warm and loving man. I love him enormously, but every time he wants to do something, he has to do it. Or he throws a tantrum, sulks, won't speak until he gets his own way. Like going on a small cruise with his mates, even though we're supposed to be saving and going to Europe. Then when a job offer came his way, which offered him $40,000 more, he was scared of the additional responsibility and said, better the devil you know. And he passed it up. So how do you get someone to grow up and take responsibility? I love him desperately, but what a little spoilt brat he's turned out to be. Pam of Kingsford in New South Wales. Harry, this bloke doesn't sound like he wants to be too responsible, does he?
Well, Pam, at 14 months, I think you're still on the honeymoon, actually. What you probably need to learn after 14 months is that you need to use man-speak with him. There is a different language. It's a whole different world out there, man-speak. It's a very, the code of silence.
Don't give away the secrets.
We also find in man-speak that telling is not selling, so that if you keep telling him to do all these things, you're not going to get him to do anything. You'll actually push him away. And the fact that he wants to go away with his mates, he probably just wants to reconnect with yourself by spending some time away to realise how precious you really are. So, you know, I think that you've got to take these things into consideration.
You're a real boy, Harry. And you're sticking up for him.
And Pam, is that when you marry someone, you marry them for who they are and what they are.
But
Don't
you haven't told
try to change them.
Pam how she motivates him to do the things she wants. You've told her to back off, but...
Just keep asking, but trying different ways to ask, and he will respond. And then once you find his hot button, you just keep pressing that.
Hot buttons, Anita?
Hot buttons?
Hot
That's
buttons.
new to me. Well, I have to say, I actually agree a little bit with Harry. Look, he's got a job, and I think he is responsible. Look, $40,000 more. Maybe it's not about money for him. Maybe he's comfortable, and he just wants to live an enjoyable life. And let's say it. Look, if this job is going to add extra responsibility, why take the risk of going down the track of putting extra stress on and being miserable and eventually ending your marriage with the boys?
Grapes. That never happens. That's just an imagination. That's an insecurity.
I totally agree with you're married, so you see each other every day. Yes, I think it's important that you have your own independent lives as well. So go out with your friends and let him go away with his mates every now and then. Yep. When you come back, you appreciate each other's time a lot more.
Hang on.
It's compromising.
If you were saving to go to Europe, would you let your boyfriend go away on a trip?
Yes, because
that will eat
you can have you can work it out. You can have a savings account for yourselves, but then you need your own savings account. She can go to a day spa for a few weeks, and going out with the boys, he can save separately on top of that.
Gary,
you can still do things together in a relationship.
It's more like a spiritual retreat, like a warrior meeting or something like that.
You need your time apart.
What letter is this?
They based a beer
Don't it
commercial
always
on
seem
me.
to go? Let your donut.
Come on.
No,
What?
I think I'm going to say something. I'm a big fan of girl time, boy time. If my boyfriend goes on his surfing boy trip thing, whatever, I go on my girlfriend week trip, whatever. I think the thing is we have to understand how much money you guys are earning if you're saving for Europe and you can't actually afford that boy time, girl time thing, have just a day, a night out. I think you have to understand, the $40,000, whatevs. That's his own. You're not the one going to his work every day, sitting there in and out, doing that. He might not want to do that for the rest of his life. I think you understand that boys can be little bits of brats. They are Peter Pans, and they are going to chuck a little tanty every now and then, just like you do when you storm off into your bedroom and slam the door behind you crying. So I think you need to give and take a little bit here. I think you need to kind of understand exactly what Harry's saying. There's boy talk, there's girl talk, but just chill out. You've been married for 14 months. You need to look forward to coming home to each other still.
Well, you're very understanding, but I'm still focused on this line. Throws tantrums, sulks, won't even speak until he gets his own way. That doesn't sound terribly mature, and he doesn't want to step up to a $40,000 job. What sort of dad is he going to make here, Jace?
Well, look, I think maybe hypocrite's my word for the night, because Pam from Kingsford, get a grip, woman. Imagine, right, that you wanted to go and write a letter to an internationally renowned panel show called Sweet and Sour, and you wanted to complain, and the basis of your complaint was that we're saving up for a trip for me to go to Europe, and he wouldn't take a job. He wouldn't take a job which offered 40 grand more? I'm assuming he must be making something fairly substantial right now. And I'm going to go on the record, Pam, and suggest that we saving up for Europe means he's setting aside some of your shoe money each week so he can go on a holiday. Who's the spoilt one here? Look, I tell you what, throws a tantrum, sulks and won't speak till he gets his own way. Sounds like it might be working, but 40 grand more. I actually want to know what business he's in, and whoever the boss of that job was, give me a call. I might consider it. Pam, if you want more money and less of a husband, well, maybe you should go and get yourself a money-making machine, and you reckon you love him and he's wonderfully warm. Be happy with that. Give him some love back. Forget about the dollars and cents. You may have a good life.
Very good, Jace.
I'm the only one with Pam. When we come back, Jason's going to tell you all he knows about the carbon tax, and so's the rest of the panel. When we come back, don't go away. We'll be there soon.
Sweet and sour, more like hot and spicy.
Here we go. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. Here we go. Dear Mitch, am I the only moron in Australia? We've got this huge debate going on about the carbon tax, but I don't get it. I can't understand how this tax is going to have me keen to take carbon out of the atmosphere. I'm not a global warming skeptic. I know it's real, and I also get it that humankind is causing it. But a carbon tax to me is just like a GST. Once you get used to it, you don't think about it. How the hell does a tax create the desired effect? Frankly, I think the big mistake is that the public again are not engaged and have been overlooked. I'm not involved here, none of us are. When water is short, I'm told to cut down. When fertilisers are seeping into the river, I'm told to cut down. This is an environmental issue, and all I'm told is that we're having a confusing tax. This is a global environmental issue, not a financial one. But in the world's highest carbon polluting nation per capita, I'm being told to do nothing and just let this tax fix it all. What a poor approach to the greatest issue of our day. How uninspired, how utterly disengaging. Yeah. Can the panellists suggest real strategies to bring down the level of carbon emissions? It comes to us from Philippa of Netherlands in Western Australia. Lauren.
Right.
Good tax, bad tax?
I think it's absolutely shocking and appalling. As a single female getting the wage what I am, I don't get any benefits. I'm not struggling, but I'm not well off kind of thing. Right, these massive companies who are earning thousands and thousands of millions of dollars are the ones actually pumping out all this carbon and pumping out all these things.
They're the ones who'll be taxed.
Right, so you're going to tax them. Then they're going to pass it down to me.
Yes.
Julia, you're saying 0.07%, whatever. I don't care. I think that there should be a limit of how much that these people emit, and then once they reach that, you give them fines. You don't give them a tax because that comes to me. In the way of global warming...
Give them incentive to cut down.
Give them an incentive. Give us incentives to go and get hybrid cars, things like that. But I'm not getting into the science side of things. There is global warming, but there's also a nature thing that Mother Nature follows. Julia, I think you're being stupid. I think it would be stupid to bring it in for people like me, and that's the reason I did not vote for you, you stupid woman.
Oh, there you go. But she said initially she wasn't going to bring it in.
Exactly. She's a liar anyway, so it's not going to be 0.07% that we're going to get. It will be greater than that. And as someone who is living and trying to pay their bills, not on Centrelink, living to sustain this country, you're going to then put more tax on me when I'm doing the right thing.
Come on, Jace.
Under a Labor government with me as Prime Minister, there will not be a carbon tax. I know that was a very bad Julia Gillard impersonation, but that's what she said. You all voted for it, and now what's she doing? Let me make it really clear to you folks at home. Look down the barrel of your TV. Turn the volume up if you need to. Carbon tax is global banking cartel taking your hard-earned money and not helping the world. Yeah. Full stop, game over. Let me tell you a couple of things. Carbon dioxide, which they reckon is the biggest problem we've got, which is why all cars have got carbon dioxide emission numbers on them now. Carbon dioxide does not go into the upper atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is not a greenhouse gas. Goes to the grass, plants grow
it's
better.
Real.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Sorry.
Carbon tax.
You won't get me on that one, Jace.
I'm not saying it's global warming's not happening. I'm not saying there's not such thing as greenhouse gas. I'm saying carbon dioxide
Don't go
isn't
into the
one.
science.
Carbon dioxide is not a greenhouse gas. Anyway, that is why the government of America is being sued by 30,000 scientists as we speak. Anyway, what can we do? What we can do is we can make solar panels compulsory on houses. When you build a house, you have to have a solar panel capable of running the electrical needs of that house. That would make more of a difference than a carbon tax would.
Yeah, lots of other
Let's do
initiatives.
things that are positive. Let's reward people for doing positive
Harry,
things.
financial guru.
Look-
Jason just says do things positively. This isn't positive.
I think, look, it's $23 a tonne at the moment before we start doing ETS trading systems, and who knows where it'll go to and how much it'll cost per tonne. I agree with what Lauren said as well. It's basically, we need better education, we need to be subsidies for recycling, subsidies for using solar panels.
We need to be
subsidy
engaged.
and educate people. We need to also realise that the big emitters in the whole scheme of things here is China, India, America. I was in China in September. Let me tell you, the pollution over there is 100 times worse than it is over here, and they need to be doing things.
China is doing things.
Well,
China's leading the way.
I hear this all the time, but I see what was over there, and it wasn't
Oh,
changing.
it's chronic. It's absolutely chronic. But look at their population. But they're better than us.
Yep, but still,
Leading the
it's
way.
subsidising and educating and offering people a financial incentive to do something now, not a promise of the future, because, as Lauren said, they're only taxing 500 of the top emitters, not everybody else. And then when I see that they're actually going to put a tax on the flying doctor's fuel, then I get upset.
It's bizarre, isn't it? And Anita, final word on this before we have to disappear.
Look, I agree. I think there's a lot of confusion out there. People are a bit, they don't quite understand it. I think it's not about making fossil fuels so expensive that we don't want it. It's about making green energy cheaper so we can actually have it. And
Spot on.
yeah, so we need, like, you know, at the moment I found out solar panels are actually 10 times more expensive than fossil fuels. Now we need to just cut
Cost
that.
prohibitive.
We need to cut those costs down to make it possible. People want to do the right thing out there. We don't want to destroy our country. We don't want to destroy our world. We just need to make it affordable, and there needs to be incentives out there
right.
so we can get more solar panels out there. Wind farms
15
created.
grand on the cost of a house is a very
And the
small
government
price
has,
to pay.
and the government has
Exactly,
proven
yeah.
they're not good at managing these
Lots of
things. We need
conversation
to
on
go
this,
out. We need to go out to the commercial world, not
Do
the
we
government
like
world.
this letter to give away the pair of limited edition sunnies courtesy
Yes.
of Alan Treves and
Absolutely.
Philippa's got us being
Aussie Optical.
serious.
Well
which,
done,
I mean,
Philippa.
frankly, is not really in keeping
but you're all
with the show.
passionate about this one. This was,
absolutely.
everybody had a point of view.
Can I just make
Quick one.
A final point? Let's not just focus on carbon. Let's focus on stuff that makes the air bad.
Absolutely.
I think
Methane.
there's too much demonisation
Carbon.
of carbon,
Yep.
and I
Yep.
think they're getting too specific
Carbon's a big
about
one.
one element that really isn't the source
Okay.
of the
Yep.
problem.
All right, we've got to go, Jace.
Thanks for having us, mate.
That's all right. And who did we say? Philippa's getting the...
Philippa
Yes.
is getting the
Philippa
letter.
is getting the limited edition pair of sunnies courtesy of Aaron Treves. Good night, mate.
Thank you. Good
When,
night.
you got to tell us when we can...
Yes,
say
definitely. You got to get
the
it
big
back
secret.
on if I haven't done that bad, no?
You never do
very
badly. Jace, when are you back in town?
Oh, sometime in the next couple of months.
All right, we'll have you back then too. Anita,
Yes,
we'll see you on the TV somewhere, won't we?
yes, probably.
Harry,
Jace,
interest rates going down.
I think so.
That's the big word.
Later in the year.
We've got to go. Thank all of our wonderful panellists. Thank our terrific crew. And thanks for having us at home tonight,
See you
Australia.
later.
Good night. Bye-bye.